First the cataclysm, now this. There's too much going on right now. I hoped I had masked it better, but yes, I am. I'm sorry if I seem a bit flustered. Things have been chaotic since the cataclysm, and now word of missing supplies. But that doesn't excuse my rudeness. Let me at least introduce myself. My name is Qisrani Dul'kehf. I work as an executor for House Dul'kehf. Members of House Dul'kehf who handle trade in and out of Dazra. We are part of the Ministry of Commerce, but our building was lost in the cataclysm. Likewise, and I'm well aware of who you are. Word of the first convert in generations is on everyone's lips these days. But I'm sure you are busy getting adjusted to life here. Is there anything I can help you with? Trouble only begins to describe it. It's about the supply shortage. There may be a reason for it beyond the cataclysm itself. A week ago, my cousin Ukaru came to my office concerned about a series of lost shipments. He was certain someone was using the tragedy as cover to steal supplies and route them to our enemies. Yes, but given the seriousness of the accusation, the proof must be irrefutable. So I told my cousin to return with more evidence. And when I didn't hear back, I assumed that was the end of it. But this morning, I received a slate from a courier. It was from Ukaru. It was worrying, to say the least. It felt like Ukaru was trying to warn me. The contents were cryptic. He mentions a possible conspiracy and being followed and, well, I hate to say it, but I'm starting to panic. He hasn't shown up to work in days, and the timing of all this feels suspicious.
Regardless of the reason, it sounds like something or someone might have gotten to him.
Agreed. Ukaru was extremely punctual. An absence like this is very unlike him. But if he is in danger, I don't know if it's safe for me to investigate. I need someone disconnected from the noble houses. Ukaru's workstation is likely your best bet. He's been working in the rehabilitation unit on the 3rd floor of the Halls of Healing. If you run into any issues with access, hand this slate to my fellow executors. Once you locate him, report back to me. I've got a meeting at House Kadik later, but I shouldn't be hard to track down. Hopefully you'll find my cousin alive and safe.
Let me guess. You missed me and you couldn't stay away.
If Ukaru has not been eliminated or kidnapped, he will likely be terminated upon his return.
I'm sorry, but this wing of the hospital is under investigation. You'll have to leave. Even with the cataclysm, this is highly irregular. But not surprising. Qisrani is obsessed with transparency and often seeks independent help. I find this tendency unwise.
And by unwise, he means a complete disregard for operational security, rules, and regulations.
Possibly. And yet, despite what I said, and unsaid, she persists in doing so. So, we must come to a compromise.
A good compromise leaves everyone unhappy. This one was particularly miserable.
I will give you the keycard to Ukaru's computer. You will be able to access documents and correspondence for the past month. Any further access will require admin privileges, which I am not willing to grant. I apologize, but you were only given access to view the computer's records. Admin privileges are restricted to House officials only. Yes, while I am loath to make an exception, one might be made in such a case. Normally, I would say rules are rules, but I do understand this is an emergency. These are desperate times. I suppose, given all that's happened, exceptions must be made. You'll be granted temporary admin privileges to Ukaru's computer. That should be enough for you to do your investigation. Unfortunately, rather than use the proper channels, he chose to start his own investigation.
A very unfortunate choice.
I will not pretend to know the particulars of this case. I will say this. We are House Dul'kehf. We have a reputation. We are professional. We are exacting.
We don't make mistakes.
Precisely. Now, to get back to these spreadsheets.
All must serve.
Access is provided to and by executors of House Dul'kehf. This unit reminds you to be mindful of your position.
cargo facility. Very nice. I suppose I could be persuaded into rummaging through a few crates. Find anything useful? Whatever you need, you got it. No, we done talking already.
I found the shipment! Along with, countless others. Bad. Real bad. But it begs the question, who are these for? And who's helping them? Wait, what was that?
Cannot escape the shrouding, accursed one. And now you and your friend will die! They've escaped through the vent. Find them!
An intruder, brother. Show them what the
Find the intruder! Block them from the control room!
Find them! They cannot have gone far. You cannot escape the promised.
I'll ask you again. Who else knows?
No one! My superiors don't even believe there's missing shipment!
And why is that?
I don't know! They were all signed off by someone higher up!
If they knew that much, it's only a matter of time before they find out about my boss.
And what of it? If you are using this as a pretense to end our agreement,
My boss is taking it to
Send a message through an encrypted place. The coordinates John said.
I'll let them know.
We've given us everything we need. Turn him to dust.
If you feel your danger, I can provide a security detail. People are nothing.
Thank you, Envoy. I'll consider it. Was there anything else?
Yes, there was one more thing. Mrs. Supplies. I was wondering if
I don't need any free drinks from you.
I am unclear on what you refer to.
They say House Kadik intends to open our waters. Perhaps more outsiders will be entering the city.
This is gonna end badly for you. I'm sure they had something we can use.
Come back and face me, coward.
I picked up something you might be interested in.
The Serpent's Crusade will see many of our agents activated.
Well, well.
I pray
Back
the
for
Serpent
more.
protects
Yeah,
them.
take a look at this. Stay safe, darling.
I spend most of my time working at the Ministry of State.
I apologize. The Envoy and I were just discussing matters of state.
In particular, I offered to help find the missing supplies. I have my people looking into the matter as well.
Thank you for your diligence, Envoy. On that note, I hate to take up any more of your time than I already have. And I'm sure you're busy with issues regarding your own house. If you don't mind, I'd like a moment with the Vindicator alone.
Then I'll take my leave. The cortege has arrived at the spaceport, and I don't like to leave the crew waiting.
Thank you, Envoy.
Executor.
I appreciate your discretion. The Envoy is a trusted figure, but you can never be too careful in situations like this.
The old adage holds true for explorers and sailors alike. Loose lips sink ships.
We have a different saying here in Dazra. The bleating groat is the first to slaughter. But it means more or less the same thing. And while having the conversation here isn't entirely secure, we're pressed for time, so it'll have to do. So, now that we're alone, tell me, what have you uncovered? I was afraid of that. If only I had preached more caution. But after the accident, things were dire. Our resources were blocked. We needed those supplies, and... Indeed. But there's more going on here than meets the eye. If the Zealots are responsible, they must be punished. But one question remains. How would they gain access to the shipments in the first place?
The slate we gave you should tell you exactly how.
Yes, we should start with that. This slate you found, it mentions a contact. Someone on the inside. This person would have to be well versed in our operational pipeline. They would have to know where to route the shipments and how to clean the books. It seems unfathomable. But perhaps Hukaru was right. A member of the noble houses has betrayed us. Yes, but without coordinates, Jandar's rest could be anywhere on Varun Kai. We're going to need to enlist some help. I'd like you to speak with Tivina Bethal at the Keep. If that slate has coordinates, she may have the means to decrypt it. Excellent. As for me, I must mourn my cousin's passing. I understand there's a shrine upstairs. When you return, meet me at the Halls of Obedience, where we first met. By Jinon's grace, we'll find out who the supply thief is and bring them to justice. Serpent guide you, and be safe.
Vindicator. I was wondering when you graced my office with your presence. Oh, you have fans all over Dazra. Count myself among them. In fact, I think you and I are going to be fast friends. But I realize that's not why you're here, Shall we get down to business? Excellent. I take it this is about the missing supplies. I may have some intel on my computer that could help you with your case. Well, look at that. The Great Serpent favors us both. It just so happens that one of my agents recently recovered a Zealot cipher key and dropped it off this morning. Here, a copy of the key for your records. Well, as you can see, the encryption they're using is mind-numbingly simple. Take the slate number, and your slate's numbered 2032, which means the key is... Neither are the Zealots, based on how simple their encryption is. I'll just type in the correct code and... voila! Let's see what you've won. Looks like an all-expenses-paid journey to Jandar's. Okay, scanning the coordinates, these... Of course. Resources that fit. Put that aside. Let's get to the gun. That's highly unlikely. It's not only suspicious, it's... well, whoever the thief is. Now, since you have what you need, I've enjoyed our time together, but as they say, let's avoid that from happening to us.
Any troubles you need to buy, love?
Late, Vindicator. The contact has already returned to Dazra. And your handler, Child of Jerick. I wonder if the contact has betrayed us and fled. The Warden... It is... Then perhaps you're with the Greats. The Serpent shows no mercy! The Serpent shows no...
You're back. Did you uncover anything at Jandar's Rest? Eugene, are you sure? Then I may be walking into an ambush, seeing as Mujine's the one who organized this meeting, and so the meeting takes place inside the halls. Thank you. Okay, let's walk.
For the sake of our people, always. Then may the great serpent...
For House Malik!
Watch over.
Your turn.
The council is here. Should you...
Jinan, bless you. I would not have survived that if you hadn't been here. It's more than luck. I'm beginning to think your coming was divined by the serpent itself. In any case, now is not the time to dawdle. Thank you. This assassin's attempt will help our case. If you have time, check his off. Good. Regardless, he must answer. Give me until the coming. Mark my words.
You've been busy, Vindicator. You're practically an oracle to have connected the dots so quickly. Even I did not expect you to make it so far, so fast. But before you proceed into that room, I must add. Yes, my intel says you came back with a slate in hand. So let us speak frankly for... I've been thinking about the events of the past, the speed at which things have unraveled. It makes me wonder. Of course, I am not denying... Yes, I approve to have the supplies rewrapped. But the murders, the violence, these were not their... Yes and no. A handful of supply shipments are united with House Malin. We can rebuild, which is why I ask that you let me go. Allow me to continue my... You disappoint me. Why should I willingly confess and ensure...
A confession might grant you leniency, but it seems you will reap what you sowed.
I don't know what evidence you've gathered, but without anything concrete, it's your word against mine. We shall see which one carries more weight.
Ah, my day just got a whole lot brighter.
It's your word against mine. We shall see which one...
Thank you all for coming. I think we can all agree that the charges for this crime are quite serious. Theft of supplies, aiding the Zealots, and the murder of my cousin. Which is why it comes with great shock that evidence points to a member of House Kadik as the thief.
Based on what evidence? House Kadik does not deal in trade. Your house does.
I would not be making this claim without sufficient cause, nor is House Dul'kehf the bearer of this information. Vindicator, the floor is yours. The slate lists you by name, Envoy. What do you have to say for yourself?
Is this what you called me to your office for, Qisrani? This is an absolute disgrace to your department.
You haven't answered my question, Mujin.
Nor should I have to. A single slate, which I might add is likely fabricated, is not enough to prove anything.
Is that so, Mujin? Or do you deny the words you yourself wrote?
I absolutely deny it. My computer has obviously been tampered with. This is clearly not enough evidence to even consider me a suspect.
Oh, you didn't know? We have piles of evidence, ship departure records, signatures, the works. And of course the kicker, Qisrani's would-be assassin.
Security has identified him as Okim Kadik.
Well, that's your ward, Mujin.
In fact, if I were you, Envoy, I would think long and hard about submitting to the Guard peacefully. Given the severity of your crimes, the captain has the authority to do it by force.
I will cooperate, but this is by no means an admission. And make no mistake, the three of you will pay for this insult.
Make all the threats you want, Envoy. My decision is made. Guard, take him away.
As you command, Executor.
Now, that was satisfying.
I appreciate you backing me up on this one. Warden Vithal had brought some evidence linking Mujin to the crime, but it's your evidence that makes me feel confident we can convict. All told, I'm extremely grateful. Ukaru was family, and I would not have been able to rest if I knew the thief had not been brought to justice. My thanks are yours. You had no personal stake in solving my cousin's murder, yet you did so with diligence and aplomb. For that, you will be well rewarded.
I've also handed over everything we have at House Vithal regarding the case. Who knows what other crimes we can uncover while poring over the evidence.
I'll take this up with the captain of the guard. After that, our part in all of this is done. Jinan grace you for taking on this investigation. You've done a great service for House Varun and for Dazra. And on a personal note, I want to extend my gratitude for avenging my cousin's murder. With the accident and all that's going on, I haven't really had time to grieve, but closing this case might help me start that process. So for that, I thank you.
Excellent work on this case. A good lead is like a puff of smoke. Hard to miss, but wait too long and it's gone. But my thoughts are that we got our man, but that the work isn't over. I believe there are others. But unfortunately, the new speaker, being from House Kadik, will pose a detriment to rooting out more traitors. Remember, Chosen, none but the faithful are promised tomorrow.
Vindicator? Let me know if you have any further questions. Always good to see you. The case is all but closed in my opinion. But in the interest of due diligence, we are monitoring the flow of supplies much more closely. Any package put on hold must be approved by at least 2 executors. Thank you for looking into this for me.